So I got into self-improvement 5 years ago. I'm 21 years old now, but I got into it when I was 16 years old. And back then I was out of shape, I wasn't the most confident, my self-esteem was low, I was kind of insecure. But all those flaws was the exact reason I wanted to improve myself, because I understood that I had so much potential that I wasn't achieving yet. And so throughout these 5 years, I've tried every self-improvement method you can possibly think of. But I realized that some self-improvement methods are way more effective than others, which is why I'm making this video, to rank the worst to the best self-improvement methods that I've tried throughout the past 5 years. So if you're anything like me and you understand that you have so much potential and you want to achieve that, then I suggest you watch this full video, because this might be the most important video you've watched today and maybe ever. Before starting, make sure to subscribe to stay posted with more videos from me, as well as to turn on those post notifications. And also, I just launched a new clothing brand called Limitless PTNL. This is something I've been wanting to do for a while because it's a message that I heavily resonate with. The fact that me, you, and everyone has limitless potential, and we should actively put efforts and time into that every single day to unlock our full potential. So if you want to support me, if you want to support the channel, I'll leave a link in the description down below. If you want to cop one of the shirts, hoodies, whatever it is, check it out. Starting off with D tier, we have Mewing. Now I know within the past year, Mewing has become super popular on TikTok, and a lot of people are going to come at me for putting it as a D tier. Now since I was 16 years old, I always had chubby cheeks, and my goal was to get a more defined jawline. So I've tried all these jawline exercises, including Mewing. And although it is effective, it helps restructure your face, help the position of the tongue in your mouth. The reason I put it as a D tier is because when it comes to your jawline, and from my personal experience, I found that my jawline became most defined when I simply started working out and losing fat overall on my body and in my face as well. So although Mewing and jaw exercises are effective, the most effective method that will give you the best results is simply exercising, taking care of yourself, and losing fat. Also in D tier, we have a productivity system. This includes journaling, writing down your plan for the day, and basically just writing and planning your day. Now the thing about a productivity system is that you can put so much effort into planning out your day, writing the important things, the tasks you have to do, but it doesn't mean anything if you do not do it. The action itself of a productivity system becomes worthless if you don't follow up with it and actually do it. Now the way I personally do this is that I don't write it down in a journal. I open up my notes app on my phone, and I have something there called a writing zone. And what I do with my writing zone is that whenever I go about my day, when I'm outside, when I'm watching a podcast, if I come across a video that's inspiring, anything that inspires me, I write it down. And what I do with this writing zone is that as I go about my day with my personal experiences, with videos that I've watched, with podcasts, anything that I've learned from or something that has inspired me, I write it down in my writing zone. And the reason I like doing this a lot is that in the moment as I'm writing it, it's kind of a therapy. I'm really invested in it. I'm learning a lot from it. But also what's cool about it is that I can always look back on it. So I can always look back at a few months ago what I wrote and where my mindset was at then, to kind of have an idea of how much I've progressed since then, where my mindset's at, what I've done since then. Next, we have C tier. First thing I'm putting in C tier is self-improvement content. And I know you're like, what are you talking about? You're a self-improvement creator. This is a self-improvement video. How are you putting it as a C tier? Let me explain. You know when you're scrolling through TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and you come across these self-improvement videos, and in the moment it gives you so much motivation towards yourself and you envision all these great things for yourself. But then the next day you wake up and you don't do anything about it. That's where the problem with these self-improvement videos comes in. When you watch it, you get the motivation of it in the moment, but you don't take action into your real life afterward. And as a result to that, when you're just watching these self-improvement videos without actually doing anything, all it's doing for you is giving you a temporary dopamine rush. And this becomes essentially a feel-good addiction where you love watching these self-improvement videos because the feeling gives you in the moment, but then you don't do anything about it. You're not applying anything into your real life. And that's why you should be aware of the difference between inputting and outputting. When all you're doing is inputting content, whether that be self-improvement videos, podcasts, listening to books, yes, that's great. Yes, that can inspire you, that can motivate you, but it doesn't mean anything if you do not output. And by outputting, I mean applying it, working on a goal that you have in mind, starting a workout routine, creating anything, a business, content. In order for the self-improvement videos to be good, you need to be able to output it and apply it into your life. It works hand in hand together. The second method going into C tier is waking up early. Now, personally, I'm a big fan of waking up early because I'm a morning person. It's when I'm the most productive. It's when I do most of my work. It's when I'm the most creative. And personally, I always look forward to my day. So I like my day being long, which is why I like to wake up early. But this is subjective. Not everybody needs to wake up early to be successful, to have a good life, to be healthy. Some people find that they become most inspired, motivated, and productive productive at night. And if that's you, that's fine, but you just need to be able to assess yourself and ask yourself, okay, where am I most productive? Do I need to wake up early? Is it gonna leverage my life? If not, then I don't need to do it. If so, then I do need to do it. And also, some people tell you to wake up at 5 in the morning to be successful, or else you won't be successful ever. Personally, I wake up at around 9:30 a.m., 10 a.m. That's perfect for me. It's not crazy early, but it gives me enough time to have a full day ahead of me to be productive and do the things that I want to do. So although waking up early won't change your life, it is very beneficial, but it also depends from person to person. Getting into beats here, we have a dopamine detox. Now, if you don't know what a dopamine detox is, it's when you go for a set period of time, whether that be a week or a month, eliminating everything in your life that gives you dopamine, such as screen time, such as porn, such as binge eating, whatever it is that gives you dopamine, you cut it out completely. And the reason this is so beneficial is that it basically gives you a mental reset. The same way people will go on a nutrition fast, where they'll go for 24 hours without eating anything to reset their metabolism and their digestive system, a dopamine detox is the exact same concept for your mind. And it is super effective because a lot of us are feeding off of dopamine 24/7 throughout the day. If you just think about your own life, how many times throughout the day are you doing things that give you dopamine? Like I said, whether that be consuming content, whether that be watching porn, whether that be binge eating, whatever it is, there's a lot of things in your day that give you dopamine, but because you do it every single day, you're not fully aware of it. Now, although a dopamine detox is super effective, the reason it's not an A or an S tier and I put it as a B tier is because oftentimes what happens is that people will do a dopamine detox, like I said, for a week or a month, but the second they're done, they fall back to their old habits, which basically just defies the whole purpose of it. Also in B tier, we have no fap, which also falls into the category of dopamine. You know, when you're fapping, when you're watching porn, it gives you dopamine, and doing no fap has so many benefits when it comes to your mental health. You become so much more focused, so much more energized, so much more aware. I personally did no fap for a whole year, and the benefits I noticed is exactly what I just said, but also I noticed a boost in my confidence, the way I would be interacting with other people, with friends, and with girls as well. Because when you watch porn every day, that will change your perspective on things. Every time you talk to a girl, you might just be thinking of them sexually. So by cutting it out, it kind of makes you calm down a little bit and act like a real human being, being more confident, being more aware, and not always thinking with your Next, we have A tier and S tier. These are the self-improvement methods that I found personally to be the most effective. So make sure you pay close attention. First in A tier is stepping out of your comfort zone. I will tell you right now from personal experience, the only way you will improve your character and as a person overall is when you do things that you are scared of doing and when you do things that make you uncomfortable. Because these are the moments you challenge yourself. And when you're challenging yourself, that is when you learn the most and that is when you grow the most. So for example, if you're someone that has social anxiety, right? So when you're around people, you're scared of interacting with them. You think a lot about yourself. How are other people thinking about me? How should I be talking to them, etc. Good. Moving on your days, I want you to actively step out of your comfort zone and talk to people. Whether that be you ordering a coffee at Starbucks, I want you to compliment the person giving you the coffee. Whether they have nice hair, nice shoes, whatever it is, just say something. Next time you're in public, you're with friends, I want you to challenge yourself to go up to a stranger and just start a conversation. Now I know that seems super hard because you're always going about your days avoiding that because it makes you uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the better you become at it. Yes, the first time you do it, it'll become super scary, but then the second time you do it, it'll become easier, then easier, then easier. And then next thing you know, because you've challenged yourself multiple times, your confidence has improved so much more than it was before. Now that's just one example when I refer to social anxiety, but that goes with everything. Anything that makes you uncomfortable, anything that makes you scared, challenge yourself to just step right into it. The second thing we have in A tier are cold showers. This is something that's very simple to do every day, but it comes with many benefits. Personally, I've been taking cold showers for the past 2 years every day. And the reason I do this, despite me not wanting to every day, is for the simple idea to do something every day that I don't want to do. You know, whenever I'm in the shower, I have this warm water running on me. I look at the knob and I don't even let myself contemplate. I grab the knob, I put it all the way cold, and all of a sudden the cold water rushes through my body. And the reason that is so effective is because in that moment, your brain is telling you, no, I don't want to do it. Now you have two choices. Are you going to listen to your brain and let it control you? Or are you going to control your brain and say, I don't care what you think, I'm going to put it cold and let that water run on me? And that's what a cold shower allows you to do. And by doing that over time, you build more control over your own mind, over your own brain. And it's basically a simple technique you can do to not be soft. Also in A tier, we have self-care, smelling good, taking care of your skin, brushing your teeth, flossing. Especially if you're watching this and you're young, this is the best time to start this. The earlier you start start taking care of yourself, the better benefits you'll have in the long run. Having a self-care routine makes it so that not only you feel better about yourself, but also when you're meeting other people, you are way more presentable, which in turn will boost your confidence. Personally, my self-care routine involves cleansing my face, moisturizing my face, manscaping, so shaping up my eyebrows, manscaping the hair on my body, always shaving my face, making sure I'm looking clean and nice, picking out good outfits that fit me well, flossing my teeth, brushing my tongue to prevent bad breath, having a good deodorant, having a good cologne. These are all simple things that you can do that will significantly increase your attractiveness. And finally, the big S tier. What are the best self-improvement methods that I've tried myself? The first one, and you might be able to predict this, is working out. Working out for me has been the best self-improvement method I have ever done in my life. All of these self-improvement are done for what? To make you feel better. This body that you're navigating through this planet on, you want to make this body feel the best that it possibly can. And so what's better than directly making this body feel better? Getting this body in better shape, having your heart rate be well, being athletic, having your endurance be up. Not only does that impact your physical health, but also your mental health. And everything you learn from working out, when it comes to discipline, when it comes to consistency, when it comes to putting time and effort into something that's good for you and getting results from it, these are very valuable lessons that it teaches you that you can then apply into anything else, because it's the same formula that applies into growing a business. You need to put time and effort into this business continuously with discipline in order for it to grow. With relationships, whether that be friends or girlfriends or boyfriends, whatever it is, you need to put time, effort, consistency into it for it to flourish and to be great. Also in S tier, we have meditating. I personally meditate for about 5 to 10 minutes a day. Nothing crazy, but it has so many benefits. The reason being is because when you meditate, you sit there with your eyes closed, breathing, focusing on your breath. But what happens is that your mind will wander off. And the whole idea of meditation is catching when your mind wanders off and bringing your attention back to your breath. And by doing that continuously, you train yourself to have more control over your thoughts and your mind, which over time will boost your confidence, reduce your stress, reduce your anxiety, and just make you feel mentally good overall. And so as you can see in S tier, we have the two things that will make you physically right, mentally right, and at the end of the day, if you're good up here and you're good over here, then that's all that matters. Like I said, if you guys want to cop the Limitless PTNL shirts or hoodies, check out the link in the description down below. I would much appreciate it. It's a way for you to support me if you want, and at the same time, you get some cool merch at the same time with a meaningful message behind it. Also, make sure to subscribe, turn those post notifications on so you know exactly when I upload. And that's it.